All right, so today we are going deep into trading psychology.
Yeah.
That mental game behind successful trading.
Yeah.
We'll be using Tom Hougaard's book, Best Loser Wins, as our guide today.
Okay.
What's so fascinating about this book is that we're not going to be talking about the technicals,
Right.
like picking stocks
Yeah.
or, analyzing charts. We're going to be going deep into why so many people fail at trading,
Yeah.
even when they think they've got all the right tools and all the right knowledge.
It's a bit like, having all the fancy kitchen gadgets, but no idea how to cook.
Yeah.
You can have all the charts and indicators in the world,
Right.
but if your head's not in the right place,
Exactly.
it's not really going to matter.
It's not going to matter at all.
Yeah.
And Tom really hits us with a dose of reality right off the bat. 80% of retail traders lose money.
Yeah.
That's a crazy statistic.
It's huge.
Why is that?
Well, I think the really surprising thing is that many of those traders are probably using the same tools and techniques as successful traders.
Ah,
So Tom argues that just relying on technical analysis alone is a trap.
okay.
He sees trading as much more of a mental game.
Interesting.
Yeah, a battle against our own instincts.
Okay, so it's not just about, what to buy and sell,
Right.
but how to think about trading itself.
Exactly.
And to really highlight that,
yeah.
Tom tells a story about this trader who turns 5,000 pounds into 8 million pounds only to lose it all,
Oh, wow.
which is crazy.
It is a classic boom and bust story.
Yeah, it is.
It really underscores what Tom's talking about.
Yeah.
Just think about that emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
The euphoria of winning,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a sense of invincibility,
Right.
and then the crushing weight of loss.
Yeah.
If you don't have that strong mental framework in place, it's just a recipe for disaster.
It's like you're setting yourself up for failure. It really makes you think about, what specific emotions may have led to that downfall.
Right.
Was it greed,
Yeah, greed.
fear, maybe boredom
Possibly.
after, achieving some success?
Yeah,
So it's cautionary tale for sure.
absolutely.
And that leads us to this interesting concept that Tom calls the supermarket mentality,
Uh-huh.
which is how our everyday shopping habits can actually work against us when it comes to trading.
Interesting.
Now, that sounds a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, when we think about going to the supermarket,
Mhm.
we're always looking for those bargains, right?
Right. We're conditioned to look for bargains.
Yeah, we want to snag those deals.
Yeah.
So how does that translate to the trading world?
Okay.
Is he saying we shouldn't buy when prices dip?
It's more about recognizing that a falling stock price isn't necessarily a bargain.
Okay.
When you're at the supermarket, a
Mhm.
sale means you're getting the same product,
Right.
but for less money. But a falling stock price might signal something fundamentally wrong with the company.
Interesting.
So you gotta recognize that difference.
Okay.
Applying that bargain hunting mindset to trading can actually lead to buying into trouble.
I see what you mean.
What opportunity?
Okay, so we need to shift our mindset.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking cheap is good,
Yeah.
we got to think, what is the underlying value here?
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What other mental traps does Tom talk about?
Well, one of the big ones is cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
Basically, the mental discomfort we feel when our beliefs clash with reality.
Right.
This plays out in trading all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine you've bought a stock based on your analysis,
Mhm.
but it starts to drop.
Yep.
Instead of cutting your losses, selling cognitive dissonance
Yeah.
might make you hold on even tighter,
Oh.
because selling would mean admitting you were wrong.
It's kind of like, it's not even about the money anymore. It's about
No.
being right.
It's about ego.
Yeah. It's about your ego.
Yeah.
So how do we break free from these mental traps?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about next.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. So one of Tom's most intriguing ideas is about embracing the power of pain.
Embracing the power of pain.
Yeah, now, I know that sounds a bit strange.
It does kind of sound masochistic.
Yeah.
You would think the point of trading is to make money,
Right.
not to inflict pain on ourselves.
Exactly. But he's not talking about physical pain, obviously.
Right.
He's talking about the mental discomfort
Mhm.
that we experience when we're, facing losses or challenging our own beliefs.
Okay.
He actually argues that pain,
Mm-hmm.
if we reframe it,
Yeah.
can actually be a really powerful tool for growth in trading.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
How can pain be a good thing when it comes to trading?
So think of it like this.
Okay.
When we avoid pain at all costs,
Mm-hmm.
we might actually miss out on some really valuable opportunities.
Okay.
And Tom talks about this in relation to the strategy of adding to winners.
Adding to winners. So
Yeah.
that's basically increasing your position size when a trade is going your way.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think we can both agree that that can be psychologically really difficult.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Most people just want to lock in those profits.
Yeah, get out while you're ahead.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's where the pain comes in.
Okay.
So Tom describes feeling this internal resistance when he first started adding to winners.
Yeah.
It felt so counterintuitive,
Yeah.
like he was tempting fate.
Right.
But he discovered over time that this discomfort was actually a sign that he was on the right track. He was pushing past his comfort zone,
Okay.
overcoming that fear of losing potential profits.
Right.
And ultimately, that allowed him to maximize his gains.
So it's like no pain, no gain, but for your brain.
Exactly.
Instead of the gym, it's, mental exertion.
Yeah,
Pushing past your fears and biases.
precisely.
I liked it.
And Tom illustrates this with a great example from his own trading. He talks about this trade he made on the DAX index, where he just kept adding to his position as it moved in his favor, even though it felt uncomfortable,
Okay.
even scary.
Right.
But the result was a massive win.
Wow.
It just wouldn't have been possible if he had just played it safe
Wow.
and stuck with his initial position size.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm starting to see the logic here.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that discomfort. That pain
Yeah.
could actually be a signal that you're challenging yourself
Yeah.
and unlocking bigger opportunities.
Absolutely.
But how do you know
Yeah.
when to push through that pain and when to pull back?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right, because it seems like a fine line to walk.
It is, and that's where Tom's concept of the Book of Truths comes into play.
Okay.
It's more than just a trading journal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tool for really deep self-analysis and behavior modification.
Right, we touched on this earlier. It's
Yeah.
where he logs every single trade, good and bad,
Every single one.
and really dissects why he made the decisions that he did.
Exactly. And not just the trades themselves,
Yeah.
but also his emotional state at the time,
Okay.
the rationale behind each decision, and of course the outcome.
Right, so looking at the whole picture.
Exactly.
Mm.
And by doing this meticulously,
Right.
Tom was able to identify patterns in his own behavior that were either helping him or hurting him.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this allowed him to refine his strategies,
Okay.
adjust his risk management,
Mm-hmm.
and basically reprogram his brain for more consistent success.
So it's like cognitive behavioral therapy, but for trading.
It's very much in that vein.
Yeah.
And the key here is to be brutally honest with yourself.
Right.
Don't just gloss over the losses
Yeah.
or make excuses.
Right.
Really dig deep and ask yourself,
Mm-hmm.
what were the emotions driving this trade?
Okay.
Did I follow my plan?
Yeah.
What could I have done differently?
Right.
These are the tough questions,
Yeah.
but they lead to real growth.
It's about taking ownership, isn't it? Of your decisions and your outcomes.
Absolutely.
This idea of self-awareness and mental discipline
Yeah.
reminds me of something else Tom talks about.
Yeah.
The parallels between the mindset of an elite soldier
Mm-hmm.
and a successful trader.
Interesting comparison.
Right.
I can see some similarities.
Yeah, they're both operating under pressure,
Exactly.
making split-second decisions,
Yeah.
dealing with, the possibility of failure at any moment.
Right. And Tom actually takes it even further.
Okay.
He actually incorporates visualization techniques,
Oh, wow.
similar to those used by athletes and soldiers,
Interesting.
into his trading routine.
Okay.
So he mentally rehearses different scenarios,
Mm-hmm.
including potential losses.
So he's mentally preparing himself?
Yeah, for the inevitable ups and downs of the market.
So he's not just planning for the trades themselves,
Right.
but he's also training his mind
Exactly.
to stay calm and focused under pressure.
Yeah, that's the key.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. And he also talks about the importance of rituals and routines,
Okay.
like having a structured pre-trading routine to kind of get himself in the right headspace,
Right.
just like an athlete warming up before a game.
I'm starting to see how all of these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
The self-awareness, the mental discipline, the willingness to embrace discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about, knowing the markets. It's about knowing yourself.
It's about knowing yourself exactly.
And speaking of knowing yourself,
Yeah.
there's another crucial aspect Tom covers.
Okay.
Learning to be a good loser.
A good loser.
A good loser.
Interesting.
Isn't the goal to avoid losing at all costs?
You would think so, but Tom points out
Yeah.
that losing is an inevitable part of trading.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the best traders in the world have losing trades.
For sure.
What separates the successful ones is their ability to manage those losses,
Okay.
to learn from them,
Yeah.
and to not let them derail their overall strategy.
So it's not about never losing.
Right.
It's about how you react and adapt when you do.
Exactly.
So how do we become better losers?
Well, one of the key concepts he introduces comes from his friend and fellow trader, Dr. David Paul.
Okay.
Dr. Paul suggests that instead of focusing on when to exit a winning position, you should be asking yourself, why not add more?
Why not add more? Yeah. That's a bold move.
It is.
You know, most people would be thinking about taking profits,
Right.
not potentially risking more.
It seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But Dr. Paul's point is that if your analysis is sound and the trade is moving in your favor,
Okay.
adding to your position allows you to really capitalize on that momentum
Right.
and maximize your potential gains.
Of course, this assumes that you have a solid risk management plan in place.
Of course, risk management is paramount.
Yeah, you don't want to just be blindly throwing money at a trade
No, absolutely not.
without considering the potential downside.
Right. But Dr. Paul's approach really highlights the importance of overcoming our fear,
Okay.
of losing potential profits,
Yeah.
and learning to ride the wave of a winning trade.
So he's flipping the script
He is
on how we typically think about risk and reward.
flipping the script.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's about shifting from a fear-based mindset
Right?
to one that's focused on maximizing opportunities.
Exactly.
And Tom shares a great example of this from his own trading. He was shorting the Dow Jones Index.
Yeah.
And he kept adding to his position as the market continued to decline.
Uh-huh.
And even though it felt uncomfortable, maybe even a little scary,
Right.
he trusted his analysis and let the trade run.
And what happened?
Huge win.
Wow.
That wouldn't have been possible if he had let his fear get the best of him.
It sounds like he was putting into practice everything that we've been talking about.
It was.
Embracing discomfort,
Yeah.
managing his emotions, trusting his process.
That's the key. But what about those times when things aren't going so well?
Yeah.
What does Tom say about dealing with slumps?
Right.
Those periods of doubt and frustration that every trader goes through at some point.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we have.
Well, Tom is very open about his own struggles.
Okay.
He admits that even he, with all his experience, goes through periods where he feels like he's lost his edge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he calls it the drifter mind.
The drifter mind.
Yeah, what is that?
That feeling of being out of sync with the market,
Okay.
lacking focus, doubting your abilities.
So you're just kind of like in a fog,
Yeah, you're in a fog.
like second-guessing everything.
Second-guessing everything.
Yeah, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
Okay, so how do we deal with that?
Well,
How do we deal with the dreaded drifter mind?
he talks about the importance of having a clear purpose,
Okay.
a strong why behind your trading. When you're feeling lost or unmotivated,
Yeah.
reconnect with that purpose.
Okay.
Like, why are you doing this?
What are your goals?
Right.
Having that North Star can really help you
Okay.
regain your focus and motivation.
So it's like, remembering your passion for the game,
Exactly.
even when you're in a slump.
Yeah.
What about any practical things? Like, does he give any specific techniques
Absolutely.
to get out of that mental funk?
He talks about the importance of having a structured routine,
Okay.
both physically and mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Just like an athlete preparing for a competition,
Yeah.
Tom uses visualization techniques,
Okay.
breathing exercises, even physical activity
Right.
to clear his head and get himself into that right headspace for trading.
So it's almost like, trading like a performance, like an athlete is training for a game. It's got to be mentally and physically prepared
You do.
to be at your best.
And just as important as preparation is recovery.
Oh, okay.
Tom also highlights the importance of taking breaks,
Mm-hmm.
stepping away from the market to recharge and recalibrate.
You can't be on all the time, right?
No, you can't. You'll burn out.
You'll burn out.
Trading is intense.
Yeah.
It's easy to burn out if you're not taking care of yourself.
It's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between discipline and self-care.
Yeah, I like that.
You can't perform at your best if you're,
Yeah,
running on fumes.
exactly.
And Tom also talks about embracing failure
Yes.
as an essential part of the learning process. He
Yeah.
shares a story about Kobe Bryant,
Yeah.
who was, one of the greatest basketball players of all time,
Yeah.
but he was known for his relentless work ethic.
Mm-hmm. And his willingness to push his limits,
Yeah.
even if it meant failing along the way.
So it's a good reminder that even legends,
Yes,
they're not immune to setbacks.
they're not.
It's all about how you approach those failures,
Right.
how you learn from them,
Yeah.
and how you use them to fuel your growth.
Tom's also very candid about his own experiences with failure, including a really tough period where he had, prolonged losses. He calls it his slump.
His slump.
Yeah, and he really emphasizes that even the most successful traders
Yeah.
go through these tough times.
It's inevitable.
It is.
It's about having the resilience to bounce back.
That's the key.
So it's not about avoiding failure altogether,
Oh.
because that's impossible.
It is.
It's about developing that mental toughness
Right.
to weather the storm
Yeah,
and come out stronger on the other side.
I like that.
And this brings us back to the Book of Truths.
Yes.
How does that tie into
Okay.
dealing with failure and building resilience?
Well, remember, the Book of Truths is all about being brutally honest with yourself,
Right.
documenting not just your trades, but also your thought processes and your emotional states.
So when you're going through a slump,
Yeah,
this kind of self-reflection becomes even more crucial.
absolutely. It's about identifying those patterns of behavior that might be contributing to your struggles, whether it's, fear, impatience, or just straying from your trading plan.
So it's not just about identifying your weaknesses,
Right.
but it's about using that information
Yeah.
to make adjustments.
Yeah, to refine your strategies and to develop a more robust mental game.
So it's a very powerful tool
It is.
for taking ownership of your trading journey
Yeah.
and becoming a more consistent and resilient trader.
It ties in with another really crucial concept
Okay.
that Tom emphasizes,
Which is?
having a process-oriented mindset.
Okay, a process-oriented mindset.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So it's about detaching yourself from the outcome of individual trades
Okay.
and just focusing on consistently executing your strategy with discipline.
So it's like we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
being a good loser.
It is.
Losses are inevitable,
Yes,
but they don't have to define you.
they don't.
What matters is that you're following your plan,
Exactly.
managing your risk,
Mhm.
and making decisions based on sound analysis, not on your emotions.
Exactly.
Tom shares a personal anecdote
Yeah.
about a trade he missed out on huge profits.
Yeah. He let his emotions get the better of him.
Yeah, he deviated from his plan.
That's right.
So even when we have a solid strategy in place,
Yeah.
our psychology can still sabotage us.
Absolutely.
So it's a constant battle
It is.
to tame our inner,
Yeah.
demons,
Yes. Fear and greed.
fear and greed.
Yeah. Those are the big ones.
It's fascinating though, isn't it?
It is.
It's not just a game of numbers and charts.
Yeah.
It's a game of mastering yourself.
It really is.
So let's talk about Tom's concept of the ideal trading mindset,
Okay.
which he lays out in the final chapter of his book.
Right.
What are the key characteristics?
So he talks about the importance of accepting losses as inevitable,
Okay.
focusing on the process rather than the results,
Okay.
and embracing discomfort as a sign of growth.
It's like a very zen approach to trading.
It is.
It's not about the wins and losses.
Yeah.
It's about staying focused on the long game.
Exactly. He also stresses the importance of flexibility and adaptability.
Right, because the market is always changing.
The market's always changing.
So we need to be able to change with it.
Absolutely.
So there's no magic formula.
No.
It's about developing a mindset that allows you to navigate the market.
And a mindset that's constantly evolving,
Yeah,
just like the market.
just like the market.
That's right.
So what does all of this mean for our listeners?
Well, Tom's journey, as shared in Best Loser Wins,
Yeah.
is a powerful reminder that trading success
Hmm.
isn't just about technical skills or market knowledge.
Right.
It's about understanding yourself,
Mm-hmm.
your strengths, your weaknesses,
Yeah.
and how your mind works under pressure.
It's about developing the mental resilience
Absolutely.
to handle those losses. The discipline to stick to your plan, and the flexibility to adapt.
To adapt to changing market conditions.
That's about recognizing that trading is a journey,
Yeah, a journey of self-discovery.
a constant process of learning and growth.
And ultimately, it's about embracing the challenge and finding joy in the process,
Yeah.
even when things get tough.
Even when things get tough.
That's right.
Well, we hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights and some practical tools to elevate your trading game.
Absolutely.
Remember, it's not about becoming a perfect trader.
No.
It's about becoming a better, more aware,
Yeah.
more resilient version of yourself.
And just like Tom says, The best loser wins.
The best loser wins?
Embrace the challenges.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes, and never stop striving for improvement.
Great advice.
Happy trading, everyone.
Happy trading.